Hey there, welcome back to the channel. So judging by the video title, you may be wondering what I'm doing with this car or what's going on. So this BMW E46 that you've seen me rebuild and go through time and time again, it is now time to take this chapter to the next level. And I wanted to bring forth a wild dream of mine when it comes to this car. Something I thought would never really happen. Well, I wouldn't say that. Something that I thought wouldn't be easily achievable, and something I kept putting off time and time again, okay? For years, something about a V8 within an E46 just spoke to me. It was a wild dream, a fantasy, if you will. We fantasize about things that make us happy, that bring us that joyous feeling. And for me, a V8 and a E46 is something that I wanted to make happen for a long time. I didn't know how to approach it due to cost, and just overall how to perform such a swap. And I realized that if you really put your all towards something, if you work your ass off towards something, you can literally achieve anything you want. You can achieve amazing things, 100%, if you truly believe in yourself and put forth great effort. So the V8 swap idea, it came and went over the course of a while, like years. It came and went. It come into my mind. I would think about it. I would obsess about it, then forget about it. I would try to decide what power plant to go with. Now, I was thinking some bizarre things, okay? Ford 302 carbureted swap. That is just ridiculous, I know. But I was just wanting to experience a V8 in a car so bad that I was trying to think of any viable, easy option, okay? So I was thinking of that. I was thinking of a Chevrolet LS, because who doesn't? Here in the United States, they are very easy to acquire for fairly cheap, very vast aftermarket support, and loads of information out there of how to do it. So that was an option. Then also we had some outside of the box ideas like a Dodge Hemi 5.7, 5.2, 5.9. But all those options just didn't seat right to my heart. They didn't speak to me. So, that's enough talk. Allow me to show you the drivetrain in which I've chosen for this project. And here we are with one of my dream power plants, currently covered by this tarp. It is now time to unveil what I'm doing. This, my friends, is a BMW S62 engine, which was installed into the E39 M5 and Z8 model. Attached to it, I also have the Gatreg 420G 6-speed manual transmission. I am still somewhat in shock and disbelief that I was able to pull this. Look at this thing. Oh my God. This is just... I don't know really what to say other than I'm very excited to make this swap happen. The overall engineering behind this engine is just, it's a masterpiece. This is BMW's first V8M engine, and they did an amazing job with the design and overall engineering of this power plant here. 400 horsepower, roughly 394 horsepower, with also roughly 400 torque. This thing being designed in the 90s and brought forth to the light within the 2000s, that is very impressive. We have the famous Veno system, which is BMW's variable valve timing, dual overhead camshafts, aluminum block. This is a 4.9 liter. Engine code is S62B50. Everything is just, it's so symmetrical. It's just a beautiful, it's even just to look at it. It is a beautiful engine, okay? And there's nothing that would have made me feel this way other than an S62. This is like a dream of mine right in front of me. It's insane. So yes, this power plant is going to be put into my E46 right here, which you guys know me for. I would quite literally stand at the front of my car and I would just look at my engine bay and I would just visualize this BMW M Power. I would just visualize it in here. And I just knew I had to make it happen. Yeah, sure, I could have turboed this car and got, the same amount of power, if not more. But I've already done the turbo stuff. This for me is the next level. Doing something that I truly want. I don't care about being the fastest. I just wanted to make a dream of mine come true. Now we also have the engine harness too. I still have to acquire the DME. Now, believe it or not, after studying pinouts for the DME versions, the DME version for this engine is known as MS S52. I'm not sure why they didn't call it just S62, but it is what it is. The pinouts between that ECU and this ECU, DME is what they're called by BMW, the similarities are insane. And I assure you, the wiring for this is actually going to be very easy. It's just a matter of all the mechanical work. And I have some tricks up my sleeve to make this actually work in this chassis pretty flawlessly. And I'm very excited to show you all the methods and parts I'm going to be using to make this thing fit into this car. I also want to show you one thing really quick of what lies inside of this intake plenum here. One of my favorite features about the S62 actually. What you see here are some velocity stacks, which go directly to the ITBs, individual throttle bodies. This is really cool. I love seeing that. And also, you can take note of just how well these oil separators actually work for these engines. Look at how dry it is in here. Even inside of the velocity stacks, look at that. Like nothing. If you guys remember, those who watched my build breakdown, I'm running something similar right there. This is from a different V8 model, but it's a similar concept. But you can see here is your proof of just how well this simple oil separator actually works. This engine has 174,000 miles, so this gives you perspective of how well that actually works. It is such a unique engine. It's just an engineering masterpiece. They don't make them like this anymore. And there are multiple records of these engines over 300,000 miles still being thrashed and driven hard to this day. So I plan on doing the rod bearings and timing chain guides as part of the refresh before it goes in. Other than that, the usual seals, valve cover gaskets and stuff, this thing should be ready to rock into my car. So yeah, that is my next project when it comes to my BMW E46. I'm going to be swapping a S62 B50 into it. Very excited. This will be a multiple video series. I would say probably at least 4 videos during this process, as there's going to be quite a bit to show. However, I already have things mapped out in my mind of most of the work I need to do here. So as far as this video goes, I am done. I'll see you guys in the next one. Catch you later.